California dreaming about you.
There's a 6 of Colin Brown. He gets in the back of Ricky, going in the corner, turns Ricky around. Ricky's trying to keep that truck off the racetrack, trying to bring it back down to the apron. Chad McCumbee does a great job getting by. Look at Rick Crawford. Look at the job he does avoiding them. But unfortunately, Dennis Setzer had absolutely nowhere to go.
Setzer couldn't see through Crawford's truck. Setzer had no idea that Ricky was sitting there. You can see, watch Rick. He just gets on the brakes and was able to avoid the 4, but then right into the back of Crawford came Setzer.
Got our defending champion Johnny Benson, that one Red Horse truck right by. Oh, Ricky's getting sideways.
Sideways goes Ricky Carmichael. Will he save it? Johnny Benson taps him. The field slows behind him. How about that for Johnny Benson? The caution flag will come out. Our first caution comes out on lap 3 of this race. Ricky Carmichael got a little bit loose. And then I tell you what, an awesome job by Johnny Benson slowing down just enough to just barely tap him.
That had absolutely nowhere to go. He was right behind Ricky. You could see him slam on the brakes. Watch, Ricky's on the inside. Remember, the truck on the inside loses a little bit of that air off the spoiler. There he is right there. Watch Johnny. You see him just barely nudges him in the left rear corner. I don't think it did a whole lot of damage to Johnny's truck.
But man, he is taking a
Oh, problems behind him. Into the wall goes the 4.
Terry Cook's going to hit the inside wall.
Inside wall. Those two pinched together. There was a truck in the middle of that.
Yeah, it wasn't Terry Cook and Ricky Carmichael that got together initially.
Now, here's the problem.
You got 3 wide right there. Just gets tight. The 25 and the 29 actually make contact initially. And then Terry gets into the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. And you see him on the inside. He gets loose, has to chase it up the hill. Max Pappas also spins. But Ricky makes some contact with the outside wall. But that's the case you were talking about, Rick, when we see a lot of trucks spin on mile and a half racetracks. You get on the inside, you lose that air off the spoiler. And remember, these guys may not be wide open, but they're awfully close to it, Johnny. Watch right of your screen. Johnny Sauter in the 13 gets into the quarter panel of Mike Skinner.
Look at Crafton slide by barely on the outside. Colin Brown barely through the hole.
Ooh, look at Rick Crawford's rear end lift up off the ground.
Ricky Carmichael takes a spin. A little bit of damage on that truck.
I'm a little guy too. I don't know what to say. I've never been really nervous in front of anybody, but you guys make me nervous for sure. Just amongst a great amount of talent out here, I can't say enough for obviously my fans who voted for me. Everybody in NASCAR, I just want to thank you for all the respect, especially the drivers and everybody that gave me the respect this year. I know it's pretty tough for another person to come into this sport who's never really done it to give them the respect. And you guys were awesome to me on the track and away from the track. This is a dream come true for me. And I got to thank Kevin and Delana. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Obviously, Monster Energy for putting the money behind it and making it happen and giving me this opportunity. Hopefully, I'll be where you guys are someday, sitting behind that table. And I just, like I said, I'm nervous. I feel like a clown up here, can't even talk. But it's definitely special. I mean, I'm against some guys who have been doing this and have way more credentials, but I try to be the best person I can in front of the TV and on the racetrack, and whatever happens at the end of the day is what happens. So thank you, everybody, and all my fans, and congratulations to everyone who gets an award tonight. Thank you very much.
You know, you ask why he's out there? Because he's got corporate sponsors on the side of that truck. And also, he'd like to think...
Oh, Hornaday's in the wall. Hornaday into the wall in the backstretch. Now Ricky Carmichael also in the 4, spinning. The 51 of Eric Almirola caught up in this. There's Johnny Benson in the 95 trying to avoid. 4 wide coming through St. Louis. How about that one?
Wow.
Can't do that. Oh, but they did.
They tried it.
They can't get it sorted out.
James Busher in the 31.
Oh, we got a crash.
Ricky Carmichael around and backs it into the outside wall.
Looked like Mike Skinner.
Oh, and cars and trucks flying in there. That was the 6 that came in. That is Jeffrey Earnhardt that made contact after Carmichael came back down the racetrack.
Look at the damage on that 6 truck. That's hard contact.
Watch this now. There's the 5 of Mike Skinner. He gets into the corner. They make a little contact without a doubt. And that corner is so flat, there's no bank to catch you.
Watch this thing come across the track now, just fast.
But Harvick still has a long way to go.
It's like, look out, Danica gets turned hard.
Danica Patrick, she was running 14th. Stenhouse is involved. The 10, Ricky Carmichael's involved.
Problems with Ricky Carmichael.
He
gets into the side of the 23. Todd Bodine locks it up, and the caution comes out again.
Wow, big crash for Jason White.
See, the right front tire's not even moving on that truck.
You got to figure the left rear of Carmichael's truck's going to be a mess too. The whole left side looks like took a hit. He was racing really hard with Austin Dillon. I don't know if those two got together.
Tough damage on that 23 gunbroker.com Dodge.
There you see the left side tires, the left front of Ricky Carmichael is down.
What a good run Ricky Carmichael had going here at Martinsville.
I watched these 2 trucks, Phil, getting down into turn 1. Let's check this out. They start getting together a little bit. You can see Austin in the back of Ricky. Austin in the back of Ricky.
Now he's going to pull to the inside.
But he's not there. He doesn't need to try to swipe that spot, but that's exactly what he does.
So then he hits the curb. We talk about that when you hit the curb. It's going to bounce you out into the truck on the outside. Chris DeVoto told us in the setup, if you hit that curb, trouble's going to ensue, and it certainly did for Ricky Carmichael.
There's Ricky. He's on the inside of Brad Sweet. He tries to stay off Brad, and around he goes. Actually, both of those trucks made a little more damage than maybe I thought initially.
Yeah, it wasn't. Malsom couldn't see what Hessert could see. Hessert got on the brakes, and Taylor wasn't able to react quite as quickly. But
watch this now. You see Taylor's going to gain on that 9 really quickly. You see the brakes are locked up on the 9 of Tom Hessert, but
trouble! Ricky Carmichael into the wall coming out of turn 4. The field spreading. We've got a problem behind him too. It looks like 2 trucks maybe slapped the wall. Oh, and hard hit by Johanna Long as they crossed the stripe. Also involved was the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr.
You know, we talk about this racetrack being really narrow, but it's not narrow on the straightaway, so there was plenty of room there. See him, he's in between 2 trucks, and he does get sideways and then overcorrects it. And man, did that truck hit the wall hard.
You talked about it. You're going 160, 170 miles an hour when you get into the turn.
Yeah, but you know,
and that's a hard right turn.
You just don't see wrecks that hard very often. I mean, that truck clobbered the outside wall, and he shot up there at just such an extreme angle, Phil.
Almost perpendicular to the outside wall.
Head on.
Here's Todd. He's right behind. You see Ricky get sideways and then overcorrects. And no contact from any other vehicle.
Look out, trouble. The 30 of Ricky Carmichael, his dream of winning in 4 wheels. Also the 07 spinning around of Danny Eflin. Our second caution.
Yes, Timmy Hill on his back bumper, but he's on that right side pretty hard. Looks like he lost the left rear tire. Yeah. Must have had some contact with another car earlier and cut that left rear tire down.
But even with those big names in the field, including Ryan Newman as well, we could see some new names up front, especially if practice or qualifying or any indicator. Look who's right behind me. That's Ricky Carmichael on the pole. He was quickest in the first practice. Cole Witt pays second practice. Both still looking for their first trip to victory lane. Rick, Phil, Michael, it could very well happen tonight.
But Ricky Carmichael has problems. You see the smoke coming out from behind that truck.
Well, that's going to be exactly what we talked about. Exactly what we talked about. There's going to be a lot of trucks that are going to have to take the wave around. Brendan Gaughan actually had just come to pit road.
Pop the hood, guys. Get ready.
We saw Austin Dillon alongside our leader, Todd Bodine, maybe thinking he might have that spot away from Todd and will get on the lead lap on his own. If not, he will be our Aaron's lucky dog.
Only 5 trucks scored on the lead lap right now. Todd Bodine, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Nelson Piquet Jr., and Parker Kligerman.
And that will be better than a wave around because you will be able to pit. Here's Ricky Carmichael in that monster Chevrolet. Looks like he's losing an engine.
Smoke rolling out from underneath the floor, bringing out our second caution of the night.
If Hornaday would leave.
Oh, and around goes the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. He's going to slide back up into the field. Catches Cale Gale. Brian Eichler in the mix.
Miguel Paludo, the 7, is in the middle of that with a lot of damage.
Man, those guys just had a terrible front straightaway. Hornaday went down. There was plenty of room
for Carmichael to run the middle of the road. He got down there with Johnny Sauter, laying on Sauter, and by the time they got to turn 1, excuse me, this was the result.
Here comes the run by Buescher and Ricky Carmichael. Going into turn number 3. Wallace and Hornaday 1 and 2.
How about Jason White, Tom O'Neill, top of the racetrack, hooked up.
Coming out of turn number 4, this is where all the action will take place. Here comes the run. James Buescher trying to go to the outside. Mike Wallace being pushed by Ron Hornaday through the tri-oval. 400 yards to go. It's going to be Mike Wallace is going to win this one at Talladega.